beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio mini podcast, Brief Memory. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So this is another brief memory from me, DC. And, some of these I might have already read in some other format coming, and it's hard for me to, unless I kept a sort of transcript record, which wouldn't be that hard to do, with the name and the keywords and everything of each one, and then I could search it. Anyway, unless I did something like that, I won't know what I'm repeating or not, because it's all sort of familiar to me. Some things I go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't mind repeating things personally. I mean, I see things repeated over and over and over, and I keep learning from them because most of this stuff is like koans, there's really something deep in it that one can ponder and not understand. That's what koans are. Koans are things that you can ponder, but that won't help you to understand, but you'll get a glimpse. So anyway, this one says, I remember once Suzuki Roshi was asked what we seem like to him, and he said, I think you're all enlightened until you open your mouths. Well, I'm a good example of that. Thank you, Roshi. Yeah, no kidding. That urge to speak. It's interesting. People who'd been around more and, after a while, would tend to, their urge to speak would be, depends on what the situation is. If it's a social situation, you're with friends, one doesn't have to sit on oneself too heavily and guard every word. But, if you're around your teacher, it's really best to keep quiet and to listen and watch. I think you're all enlightened until you open your mouth. It's like the time where he and I were working, and I asked him a question. What an idiot. Don't do that. And he didn't answer. And then when we were through, he served me some tea, and he said, really, I'd rather not teach like that. I'd rather not give lectures. I just like to work with my students and go to Zazen and go to the baths. I mean, that's enough. That's enough. David Padua, my dear friend, who's now in his 90s in Santa Fe, walking 3 miles away. He studied with Dujum Rinpoche I think that was in Nepal long ago. David bought the Land Rover for the Be Here Now trip to India with Ram Dass, went with him. Anyway, he said he was studying with Dujum Rinpoche, I think in Nepal, right? Kathmandu probably, huh? And he said one day he went into town and he was in some, I don't know what they do there, in some tea shop. And he said there was an old Rinpoche there he started talking to. And the man said, oh, where are you from? He said, I'm from America. And, oh, good. What are you doing here? He said, I'm studying Buddhism. Oh, wonderful. And who are you studying with? I'm studying with Du Rinpoche. Oh, you couldn't do better. What a wonderful teacher. And what practice are you studying with? I'm studying Dzogchen. It's like Tibetan Zazen, formless meditation or something like that. And he said, oh, that's the highest, deepest practice. It's very good. He said, I have one suggestion for you. He said, yes. Don't ask him any questions. Isn't that great? And I think David didn't. You can, that story's probably, I have a page for him on Cuke.com. Padwa. Padua. Listen, I did it. When Richard Baker became abbot, I was the work leader in the building. I'd just come from pretty much 5 years straight at Tassara with some breaks, but not much. And so I had a Doksan, private interview with him. And he said, I remember he said, now you're, I was ordained as we used the word priest by Suzuki. And he said, now you're one of Suzuki's important disciples or something like that. I was one of the last. I was actually one of the least. I was at the bottom of the pecking order, right? And he said, but, if you want to continue studying, I will have to be your teacher. I said, well, he's dead. He can't be my teacher anymore. You're my teacher now, I just want to let him know I didn't have a problem with that. Because I can be a bad student with him just as easily as I was with Suzuki. And either in that Doksan or a little later in another one, he said, you sure do talk a lot. You always ask questions. And what do you think would happen if you just stopped talking for a while, like for 6 months? I said, that'd probably be a good idea. He said, well, start now. And I started to say, no, now. And so I did it. Let me tell you. Now, anybody who was around would say it was the loudest vow of silence they've ever been around. It wasn't a vow of silence. It was a vow of not talking. But another time I did I was having a problem with my vocal cords and I was singing, So I actually was silent for a few days. That's even better. That's better. But I did my best. And let me tell you, boy, did I learn something. Whew. It's just unnecessary. Almost everything we say is just unnecessary. I did fine. I was work leader in the building. We'd have sessions, and I'd have 65 people at work meeting that I would have to make assignments and tell them where to go. And I had an Etch-a-Sketch. I learned I could communicate almost everything by just pointing, and I don't know. And there were some people that could just, like Jack Elias, he could just know what I was thinking. He could just, maybe he was reading my mind. I don't know. It was just unbelievable. He and I were very close. But it's like he and I would have conversations, and I'd be sitting there quiet, just making some hand motions. Maybe I'd grunt a little or something. God, unbelievable. But I just really learned. It's just unnecessary. It's amazing. And as soon as I started talking again, it was like, yeah, that was a great lesson. Sorry, back to normal. And boy, did I see the good side of people. There was this bar downtown. I walk into the bar. I used to go get a shot of Irish whiskey now and then. Down on Market Street, an old one with an old, polished wood counter, like 100 years old or something. And there was this gruff old bartender there. Never a kind word or a nice look. When he saw I couldn't talk, he was like, oh, yeah, can I help you? Oh, would you like this? I just had to point. This? Yeah, okay. And people would noticed for some reason I couldn't talk, and I'd be in line in Safeway, and they'd, oh, please go in front of me. I mean, I saw the good side. I saw the best side of everybody. And another thing that happened is people that knew I could hear fine and that I was on a vow of not speaking would yell at me as if I were deaf. Anyway, okay, I've gone on long enough. Anyway, thank you for that comment, Shunryu Suzuki. I will try to keep it in mind. I think you're all enlightened until you open your mouth, so I apologize. Please forgive me. This has been a Cuke Audio mini podcast. I'm DC Puba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from Sleepy Sanur with Dogette Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.